Good day and welcome to the dining room table. Where is Israel's Rafah plan? Subscribe, like, and share. This is Secretary Blinken. He is speaking to the media. That's great. Usually it's a spokesperson or a deputy spokesperson. He is going to be speaking here about the plan that the United States requested from the Prime Minister of Israel and their military as they go into Rafah looking for Hamas. There are civilians there. There are a lot of civilians there, and a lot of civilians have already been killed and injured. So they want to know what is Israel's plan to protect the civilians and offer them aid as they bring in military. Right? No, I'm no cartographer, but I put together this little map here just to give you an idea of what we're talking about. So here is a border wall by Egypt. The United States should maybe get some tips on their border because their border is pretty secure if you've seen it online. These are the civilians, the women, there's children, babies, and the Prime Minister of Israel said they are going in, and but they have not produced a plan. Let's read what the Prime Minister has to say. So he posted on X showing that he was meeting with members of the IDF, his military. This is Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He said, I told our forces in the field, while you and the IDF are preparing to continue fighting, there is international pressure to prevent us from entering Rafah and completing the job. As the Prime Minister of Israel, I will repel these pressures. I will continue to repel the pressures and will enter Rafah, complete the elimination of the remaining Hamas battalions, restore security, bring complete victory to the people of Israel and the state of Israel. That was translated by Google for Hebrew. So that is the Prime Minister of Israel, what he is saying. Let's listen to Secretary Blinken and hear from him what he has to say when asked, look, you've asked for a plan, you haven't gotten a plan. The United States is the largest supplier to Israel on weapons, and now the United States is the largest supplier in food and humanitarian aid to the people of Gaza. What are your thoughts, Mr. Secretary?
Look, let me just say this about our commitment. Our commitment is to make sure that Israel has the means to defend itself, to provide for its own security, and that's
Secretary Blinken goes on to say what the United States is looking for, and also state that he has not received a plan from Israel as yet. Let's listen.
all along on two things. One, uh, making sure that Israel can effectively defend itself, and that's an enduring commitment that's not going to go away. Uh, and also to try to make sure that October 7th never happens again. And in doing that, we're there as Israel's ally, as Israel's partner. We've also been determined from day one, that is, Israel takes steps necessary to defend itself to ensure that October 7th doesn't happen again, that civilians are protected, humanitarian assistance gets to those who need it. And these two objectives are not in conflict. The question is whether Israel, on the one hand, is and can effectively deal with its security needs and defending the country, while at the same time maximizing every possible effort to ensure that civilians are not harmed and that assistance gets to those who need it. And as I've said for some time, we see a gap between the intent and the result that we're determined every single day to close. We want to see the violence end. We want to see this get to a point where civilians are fully protected and people get what they need to get by and ultimately to rebuild their lives. The best path forward right now would be, of course, getting an agreement on hostages. That's what we're working on intensely every single day. With regard to Rafah, the president's been very clear about this repeatedly. What we've said to Israel is this: given the large number of civilians that are now in Rafah, many of them displaced from other parts of Gaza, about 1.4 million, we need to see a plan that will get civilians out of harm's way if there's to be a military operation in Rafah, and not only gets them out of harm's way, but also ensures that they have what they need, that they have shelter, that they have food, that they have medicine. We've not yet seen such a plan.
Here, Secretary Blinken doesn't really know how Israel is going to do a military operation in Rafah with civilians. He's also stating again that he has not seen a plan. Let's listen.
Tremendous challenge in conducting a military operation in Rafah with 1.4 million civilians there. And the imperative, as we see it, and as President Biden has clearly expressed it, that there has to be, if there are going to be military operations in Rafah, a clear and implementable plan to get the civilians out of harm's way and to provide for them once out of harm's way. We have not seen that plan. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible, but we haven't seen it. And the most important thing is to see it and to make sure that it's something that can be implemented in a way that accomplishes what has to be accomplished, which is protecting people and supporting people. But right now, that's all in the realm of hypothetical because we haven't seen a plan. So we look to that. Beyond that, I'm not going to get into any other hypotheticals about Rafah or where that goes. All I can say is we need to see a plan for the civilians, and we'll wait for that. Thank you.
Do you think that the United States will get the plan from Israel? They said they're waiting. They have requested it. Prime Minister of Israel said he is continuing. He's not going to let international pressures come in the way. And the United States, said they will continue to support. Israel is their friend and their ally. What are your thoughts?